LifeCoachDonitaWheeler.com. And I have a Facebook page, Mama Bear Cancer Support, and Instagram. But what I believe sets me apart from most people is I have a system of pay as you see fit for my services. So as you know, cancer can be kind of expensive, and I don't want anybody to not get support because of finances. So I don't charge anything for what I do. I wait
That's
until
amazing.
everything's over.
That is just amazing, Donita. I mean, that's really amazing for you, because that's really unheard of in this day and age.
Well, I just feel like it's my service. Like I feel like that's part of the deal. I mean, I will send an email at the very end that says if you would like to pay pay as you see fit, or send a donation, then that's great. If they send a payment, I always send 10% to a charity of their choice in their name. And if they send, a little bit more, I have it broken down in the email, like the amounts. I will match their donation at 10% as well. So it's really a service to me. I really feel driven and led to do this. And I don't want money to be part of the turn somebody away. I couldn't take that.
So what do you think are the biggest problems that people with cancer face today?
Oh gosh, I feel like the biggest problem is I want to say the government, but I'm going to skip that. I think it's insurance and payment and money and education.
Well, of course, that's with everything. You know that. That's with everything.
Right. Sure. I just feel like sometimes the cancer has become such a mill, like my family member was recently diagnosed, and it took him 6 weeks to get an appointment. I mean, that seems kind of terrifying. 6 weeks. I got lucky when I got my appointment. But I was at the dentist's office, and I had my paper for my oncologist on top, and my dentist saw the paper, and he said, "Is that your oncologist?" I said, "Yes." And he said, "She's a patient of mine." He called and got me in the next day. Now, I understand that's unheard of, but it's still just.
But I was very lucky too, Donita. I really had wonderful doctors, and I had no problem getting appointments, and I was serviced right away. So I think a lot of it depends on just who your physicians are, who your carrier is, and in today's world, I mean, this was not, I started in 1987 was my first occurrence, and the last occurrence was 2004. And then, of course, all the treatment came after that, all the surgeries, everything else. But I was really, really very lucky. So, and if you can help people through that maze, and if you can help people psychologically and emotionally through that phase, that is a real deal breaker. I think that's fantastic. So I think that's really where you could shine. So what do you hope people take away from your work?
I hope that they can be the best them that they can be. I hope that they feel happy or content or supported. I want them to feel like their cancer journey was not, for those that had a good journey. And I think primarily the people that call me are people that probably have not had a good journey and need some support. So I want them, when they walk out that door, to feel like they got the best support available to them, and that it was a catalyst for them, and they can go about their life with pride and joy and feel good about themselves.
Fabulous. That's great. Well, I think, certainly you have picked a journey that works for you and that works for your clientele. I mean, because this is something you're passionate about. You provide a coaching service that, is not really charging anybody anything, and they make a donation later. I think that's interesting. So where does your life coaching come into all of this?
I think it's the helpfulness, when I'm evaluating a client, and I kind of sit down with them and have them tell me their story and kind of tell me why they're there and things like that. And I think just my training in the life coach certification helps me to recognize, like I said, I'm good with patterns. It helps me to recognize behaviors and situations and clarify things that may need clarifying to them. I mean, I recognize that not everybody has that ability. I have some family members who I don't even think know the difference between, like, barely know the difference between a boy and a girl, much less how anybody acts. So I think just the whole being able to look at them and kind of be able to hear what they're saying and then understand what they're saying. And sometimes you hear people, but you listen to respond instead of listening to understand. And I try to listen to understand because, you know, you can talk to your friend about your problem, but you really need somebody who can understand what you're going through and why you may be feeling the way you feel. And I think just my entire life, I was set up to do this. I mean, I did first grade for a long time. I did a lot of things when I was a stay-at-home mom. I used to tutor. I used to counsel. I used to be a volunteer at the boys clubs and boys and girls clubs in different cities and kind of help out with those kids. And I just really feel like talking is one of my things I do. And a lot of people tell me I make them feel comfortable, that I make them feel safe. So I like that. And
that's great. Yeah, that's great. Wow. Well, I can see that, you know, by people getting in touch with you and working with you, I'm just wondering, do doctors ever refer you, or do you have any connection to the medical community where they list you as a resource? I would think that would be something that would be very helpful. Or are they not allowed to do that?
I have talked to several doctors, like my particular oncologist I talked to in my hospital. I talked to them, and, you know, it's a slow, I've only been doing this really since January or February. We're in the process of doing that. I would like to do that. I don't know that there's anything that keeps me from doing it, as, you know, as from their point of view, as long as I am very clear about the fact that I'm not a medical, you know, I'm not a nurse, I'm not a doctor, and I don't say anything medically. If they ask me about a treatment or something like that, I'll just say, let's get the notes for your doctor. So that way I'm not involved with that part of it, because I don't have that training.
Well,
so
but in the fact that you're not charging anything, I would think that there would be no hesitation on a doctor's part once he got to know you, you know.
Right.
I think that would be a great thing for you to do, because I think this way more people would have advantage of your skills, and there would be a place for them. I mean, I know there are support groups, and I have to tell you again, I didn't go to support groups because I really, A, didn't feel I needed one, and B, I just really didn't want to be in a situation where people were depressed or complaining or whatever, because I'm so upbeat about everything. And
Right.
So I never went to a support group. And it was interesting, during my radiation, people would call me Little Miss Sunshine, because I'd come in with this big smile and they'd say, "Why are you so happy?" And I'd say, "Well, why not? You know, I'm getting treated, you know." But
Right.
you know, it's interesting how different people approach different things. And so I think it's a key to all of this. So I find it very, very interesting what you're doing and how you're doing it. And let's once again tell people how to get in touch with you.
Okay. Well, my phone number is 954-707-7072. I have a website at www.mamabearcancercoach.com. And I have Facebook is Mama Bear Cancer Support, Instagram, the same, Mama Bear Cancer Support, LinkedIn, the same. And I have email at Donita at DONITA at mamabearcancercoach.com. All smushed together, no spaces.
Fantastic. Well, I want to thank you for being with us today, Donita. It has been really very interesting and very rewarding for people who may be going through this. I hope our listeners are going to take advantage of getting in touch with you. You're providing a wonderful service. That's what I have to say. So thank you so much, Donita Wheeler, for being with us today. Again, her website is mamabearcancercoach.com, and her phone number is 954-707-7072. Thanks so much, Donita.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Carson. Have a blessed day, and I appreciate you having me on.
No problem.